Long ago, in the province of Tango on the shore of Japan, there was a quaint fishing village named Mizu no Yi. Here lived a young fisherman named Urashima Taro. Following in his father's footsteps, Urashima was known far and wide for his exceptional fishing skills. He could catch more bonito and tai in a single day than others could in a week. But Urashima was not only famous for his fishing prowess, he was renowned for his kind heart. Unlike other boys who teased animals, Urashima always sought to protect them. One soft summer evening, as he was heading home after a day's work, he encountered a group of children in a frenzy. They were tormenting a tortoise, pulling it this way and that, beating it with sticks, and hammering its shell with stones. Feeling a deep sympathy for the creature, Urashima approached the boys and said gently, "You are treating this poor tortoise so badly that it might soon die." The boys, who were in the throes of their cruelty, paid no heed to his words. One of the older boys scoffed, "Who cares whether it lives or dies? Keep on, boys." Urashima, or the peacemaker, decided to offer them something in exchange for the tortoise. "I'm sure you're all good boys. How about giving me the tortoise? I'll give you some money for it." He showed them a string of coins and said, "You can buy many things with this money, much more than you could ever do with this tortoise. Be good boys and let me take it." Moved by his kind demeanor, the boys agreed, and Urashima exchanged the tortoise for the money. After soothing the creature, he returned it to the sea, advising it to avoid capture in the future. The next morning, Urashima set out in his boat. The sea and sky were calm, and he felt unusually happy. While lost in his reverie, he heard his name called out clearly over the water, "Urashima, Urashima." He looked around, but no boat or person was in sight. To his astonishment, the tortoise he had saved appeared beside his boat. "Yes, it was I who called you," said the tortoise, nodding its head. "I came to thank you for saving me. I am deeply grateful." Urashima, surprised but pleased, invited the tortoise into his boat. "Would you like a smoke? Though I suppose you don't smoke." He, "I prefer sake, but tobacco is not to my taste." The tortoise chuckled. "Well, I don't have sake, but you can dry yourself in the sun," Urashima said, helping the tortoise onto the boat. The tortoise then asked, "Have you ever seen the Sea King's palace, Rinjin?" Urashima shook his head. "No, I've heard of it, but never seen it. It must be far away." "Indeed, it is at the bottom of the sea. If you wish to see it, I can take you," the tortoise offered. "How can I travel underwater? I can't swim like a sea creature," Urashima replied. "You need not worry about swimming. Just ride on my back," the tortoise said. To Urashima's amazement, the tortoise grew large enough for him to sit comfortably on its back. "Very well, I will ride with you," Urashima said, climbing onto the tortoise's back. With that, the tortoise dived into the sea, and they traveled through the underwater world. After some time, a magnificent gate and a grand palace appeared in the distance. "That is the Sea King's palace," the tortoise explained as they reached the gate. The gatekeeper, a fish, greeted them and led them through. Various sea creatures, including red breams and flounders, welcomed Urashima with great honor. Urashima, overwhelmed by the palace's splendor, was met by the Sea King's beautiful daughter, Lahaim. Dressed in flowing robes and adorned with golden threads, she welcomed him warmly. "Urashima Taro," she said, "I am grateful for your kindness. I was the tortoise you saved. You are welcome to stay here forever in the land of eternal youth, where summer never ends and sorrow never comes. I will be your bride if you wish." Urashima, astonished and delighted, agreed, and they celebrated with a grand feast. The palace was full of wonders, including a garden displaying all four seasons simultaneously. Urashima enjoyed this magical world, forgetting his old life. However, as days passed, he began to think of his parents and his home. Realizing he had been away for longer than he thought, he decided to return. He told Odaheim of his decision. Though saddened, she understood and gave him a lacquer box tied with red silk. "This is the Tamate Bako," she said. "It contains something precious. Do not open it, or something dreadful will happen." Urashima promised to keep the box closed and bade farewell. The tortoise took him back to his homeland. When Urashima arrived, he found the village changed. The people looked different, and his old house was now occupied by strangers. A man informed him that Urashima Taro had lived 300 years ago. Confused and distraught, Urashima realized that the time he had spent in the Sea King's realm had been much longer than he thought. His parents were long gone, and his old life was a distant memory. In his despair, he decided to open the tamate bako, hoping it would provide some answer. Slowly, he untied the cord and lifted the lid. A beautiful purple cloud emerged and enveloped him. Suddenly, Urashima aged rapidly, his hair turned white, and he fell to the ground, lifeless. Poor Urashima, through his disobedience, lost the chance to return to the magical realm he had once known. In this story, Odaheim gives Urashima the lacquer box as a symbol of her love, and as a test of trust. She asks him never to open it. The box represents the importance of following rules and honoring promises. Despite its potential harm, it is meant to test Urashima's obedience and trust in her, reflecting the value of respecting important instructions